Kumar Naik. I'm a project management trainer for PMI Standard. As we all are aware of that, the PMI is nothing but the Project Management Institute, so world's #1 institute who is providing project management concept, how to maintain a project and all things. So basically, if we want to start this training class, so before that, I just want to discuss something about the projects. What is projects? The project is a temporary undertaken to create a unique product, service, or the result. Every end of the project, we have to provide a unique product, unique service, or a unique result for the organization. And every project has its own time duration. It has a start and finish date. We have to complete the project within the start and finish dates. So as we know that a project is consists of number of life cycle where a project will be continued. Every project has its initialization, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. This is the 5 process group of every project. As when we will start a project, for that project we have to know what are the different constraint is there. Nothing but if I want to start a project, for me cost is one type of a constraint, duration is another constraint, scope is another constraint. So how to maintain this constraint in a project? For maintaining the plan or for maintaining a project, I have to know what is the meaning of scope, what is the meaning of time, and what is the meaning of cost. So as I want to define a whole project, the project will be defined by 5 process groups. One is called initialization process group, planning process group, executing process group, monitoring controlling process group, and closing process group. This is the 5 process group. For every process group, I have to understand some different knowledge areas. Just like that, if I want to solve a problem, then I have to good with mathematics and the science so that I can solve a problem. So same thing, if I want to resolve the project management issue, then I have to know some knowledge. That knowledge is differently, it's categorized in 10 different types. So the first one I just want to discuss with the 10 knowledge areas what are related to the project planning management. The first one is called integration management, scope management, cost management, time management, quality management, human resources management, and communication management. With respect to that, the risk management and procurement management. This is the 10 different knowledge area is there in every project. So one by one, I will discuss with the project different process group, and then the knowledge areas and what are the advantages of the projects. Then we will discuss about how to close a project and how to deliver a project to the customer. So first I want to comes to here and I want to display here what is the meaning of project management process group. Okay, so the project management process group is nothing but initialization, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. If I want to deliver a project, then I have to know what is the customer requirement. With the customer requirement, I have to know what are the different process group or what are the different sub process group is related with the project management. So according to the PMI standardization, as PMI is the world's #1 project management organization, and according to that they have their own standardization. The standardization is representing that every project is go with the 5 process group and 47 sub process group. The 47 sub process groups is comes under every individual group. So when we categorize this whole project management process group, for initialization I need 2 different sub process group. One is called develop the project charter and another is called identify the stakeholder. Like that, for the planning we have 23 different sub process, like nothing but that we go for the develop the project management plan, collect the requirements, create the WBS, define the scope, verify the scope, plan the scope. Like same thing, it comes under different knowledge areas. One by one we can understand what are the different sub process group is there in every individual knowledge areas. When we are conducting a project management, at the same time initialization is a phase which will take 5% of the whole project's time duration. I want to give the 5% of the project time duration for initialization and 40% of time duration in the planning, and another 40% of time duration is for execution, and it's like the monitoring controlling I want to give 10% of the time duration, and closing another 10%. So this is the overall 100% time duration I can give for my project. Then I come into my knowledge areas. I just already discussed with you For everything, if I want to conduct and if I want to deliver to the customer, I have to know basic on the knowledge areas. I have to expert on the knowledge areas so that I can deliver a project to the customer. So what are the different important concepts is there in the knowledge areas? First one I want to discuss with you the integration management. The integration management is nothing but the collection and output of all the other knowledge areas is nothing but the scope, time, cost, quality, human resources, risk, communication, and the documents at the end is called stakeholder. This other 9 knowledge areas, what are the output we are getting? That all output will be the input for the integration management. At the end of the integration management, we can deliver the products to the customer. So before integration management, a project manager or the project resource manager or the project planner should know what are the different other knowledge areas and how to handle with that. So first thing I just want to discuss with you, the scope management. What is the meaning of scope? Scope is nothing but what are the different work are related with the project and what are the different work is not related with the project. If I want to distinguish these two concepts, and I have to find out what are the different important tasks or activities there in a project, that is nothing but a scope for the projects. Then I come to cost management. Cost is nothing but related to the budget of the projects. What are the estimated budget is allocated for the project, how much budgeted we can spend for the project, and how much actually we are spending. This all thing if I want to know, then I go for the cost management. Then I come into time management. The time management is related to the duration. What are the project total time duration? How to find out the total maximum project time duration for the project? How to understanding the network analysis. The network analysis is nothing but to represent a whole project time duration, or what are the different tasks and how they are interlinking each other with a different type of relationship is nothing but finish to start, start to start, start to finish, and finish to finish. These are the different relationship between the tasks and how we can create a good network analysis, find out the different network diagram for that. And the network diagram is nothing but the critical path methods or program evaluation review technique method. It's depend upon the client requirements. With that, we can go and we can generate a time analysis or network analysis for the projects. Then we can find out the network time management. So then comes to quality management. As before, I also discussed with that for every project, if I want to conduct, then we have a number of constraints. The constraint is nothing but the scope, time, and the cost. And we are calling in the PMS standardization this 3 type of knowledge areas as the scope, time, and cost is called triple constraint. If I maintain the whole project with the scope, time, and the cost, then I can get the quality projects. What is the meaning of quality? Quality is nothing but the summary of all the different component of the projects, and the grade, the collection of all the grade in the activities is nothing but the quality. Quality is always represented the total overall project's performance, and it's nothing but the management between the scope, time, and the cost. The quality is always represented it's always directly proportional to the scope, time, and the cost, and it's inversely proportional to the risk. When I can maintain my project with a good scope and according to on the budget and on delivery, I can give a project to the customer, then it is called a quality projects. Or nothing but we can think like that, the scope, time, and cost is directly proportional to quality. Then I come into human resources management, which is very much important concept on project planning management. Here the human resources is called, we are calling it's a resource management, or it's the resources deals with the projects. Here very important thing is nothing but how to deal with the resources. For that we have a number of sub processes called plan the resource management, acquire the resource management, create a good team with all the resources, deliver the project with respect to client requirement by using that resources. This all things is come under different type of sub processes in PMS standardization with according to the project planning management knowledge areas. Then I come into risk management. Risk is nothing but an uncertainty event at any time in a project it can occur. They how to find out the risk and what the risk will be gives to a project. Risk is nothing but always a threat for the projects. It's an opportunity for the project also. So we can find out that the risk will be a threat or the opportunity, but the risk is divided broadly 2 types. It's a plan for qualitative risk analysis, plan for quantitative risk analysis. The risk is mostly depend upon the quality and the quantity of the products. Then I come into communication management. It's a very important management area where all the knowledge areas and what are the different project communication is happening, that all should be related to the communication. How I'm interacting with my client, how I'm interacting with my stakeholder. The stakeholder is, it's a very important concept. What is interlinking with the communication management? Then I come into procurement management. It's a very important part of the projects where we can procure different type of machine, human resources. It's all things we can procure from our external environments. Basically, the procurement is deals with the four different things or four different sub processes. We can call the plan the procurements of the projects, then go for the plan conduct the procurement, okay, then execute the procurements with respect to the client requirement. This is the three important concepts on the procurement management. And they come into stakeholder management. The stakeholder management is very important for the project planning management because it's directly related to the initialization of a project. The stakeholder is nothing but those are internal and external to the project. Those are interlinking with the project by the internally or externally. They all are called as the stakeholder. For stakeholder management, we have another sub-process is called plan the stakeholder, identify the stakeholder, manage the stakeholder, execute the manage or control the stakeholder, and it's depend upon that it's a closed step. It's nothing but like that the whole project is it deals with the all 10 knowledge areas. How much I am expertise with this all 10 knowledge area, that much I can deliver the quality product to the customer. Basically, I discussed now the knowledge areas, but inside of this knowledge area we have a different sub process group. As I discussed with previously, the 5 process group is called initialization, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. So for every individual process, we have number of sub process. Like whole project planning management concept, according to the PMI, we have a 47 sub process. For every sub process, I have to deal with number of input data, and all the input data will go from tools and technique. Through the tools and technique, I will filter out all the data and I will generate the generate the output for the customer. But the outputs is always deals with how efficiently I am using the tools and technique. I will go for a small example for scope management. Scope management is a very important, vital management roles for the project management, where we are identifying what are the different tasks or activities related to the project and what are not. For that, I had to go for a sub-process related with the scope management is called collect requirements. I just want to know what are the different input is needed for me to initiate a project or to define a scope of the projects. So basically, in every project, there is a two important concept is there. One is called enterprise environment factor. Another is called organizational process asset. The enterprise environment factor is always external to the project, and organizational process asset is always internal to the projects. Take example, if the team lead, project manager, or the team member, team coordinator, the project coordinator, this all comes under internal related stakeholder. Comes to external related stakeholder or enterprise environment factor related things is nothing but the vendor, the partner, the different consulting company. This all are external to us. So we have to define these two things in every project. So basically, when I want to discuss here the related to the scope management and the sub process called collect requirements, the collect requirements is needed some input. So what are the input for the collect requirements? The first one I want to discuss here, develop the project charter. What I developed on integration management, it's a one sub process group for the integration management, and there the output is called nothing but the develop the project charter is the input for scope management in collect requirements. This is the first important input for the collect requirements. Then I come into another input is called enterprise project, enterprise processes and enterprise environment factor. And third one is called organizational processes. This is the three important input is related with the collect requirements. When I input these three important components, then I use some tools and technique to filter out all the input data as per my requirement as the output data. So at the output, what I will get that depend upon my tools and technique. And here I can use the tools and technique is called the the expert judgment. The expert judgment is nothing but those are related to the projects from last 10 to 15 years. They have a good knowledge areas in technical and management skill. They have real-time experience on the expose and they can know what they have to do for the project and what are not. They are the more the tools and technique for the collect requirements, and the output I can generate, that is nothing but a scope management statement or the statement of the work. The output is always called statement of the work, and what are the work I have to do for the project and what are not. This all thing will be defined in the collect requirement. It's a very important output, and that output what I'm getting from the collect requirement, it will be input for some other knowledge areas in some other phases of the projects. It's fine. It's related to the scope management. Like that, we have a number of processes in scope management is nothing but the create work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure is nothing but to divide the whole project in small component is nothing but the deliverables and the tasks for activities. As we know that every project, the unit of the project is called the scope, and the task and activities as both are the unit of the every project. So basically, when I want to conduct a project, I have to divide the whole project into small component, and that is nothing but called a work breakdown structure. As per the requirement of the client, if a project is resource based and the resource is constant for my project, then I can go with the resource breakdown structure, where I have to give a more importance to the resources, and my whole project will be divided according to the resources requirement. Then I come into risk related projects. If a project is fully risked by and I have to sort out the projects, then I can go with the risk breakdown structure. These are the different things I'm discussing about the difference of process related with the knowledge areas, and that's a process flow. As I just want to discuss here related with the other stuff related with the initialization, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, that all thing I discussed. So I have just to remove this one. Okay. So if I want to use project management concept, what are the advantages there behind this? So the most important thing is that for every project we have a time duration. I have to deliver a project within the time duration, within the budget, because every project is a budget constraint or the time constraint. The budget is nothing but the aggregation of the projects. The whole projects, what are the different tasks is there, the aggregate task, how much cost is required, that all aggregated or summation of all the task related cost is called budgeted cost. Take example, in my whole project I have a 10 different tasks. For every individual task I need 100 rupees. So 10 different tasks I need with respect to that 100 rupees. The 1000 is nothing but budgeted cost. So when I define a budgeted cost is 1000, that is nothing but a define of the project with respect to the top to down approach. Okay, so the thing is that when I'm managing a project with the advantage, what are the project advantages? Thing is that first thing is I just want to discuss the schedule the task. When I want to maintain a project, then I have number of tasks. So every task is related with each other. But when I'm conducting a project, I have a 10, 20, 100, 1000 tasks. So if 10, 20 tasks, then I can manage it by using Excel sheet or somewhere else. But if the same task is increased and the task is now 1000 tasks is there in my project, so how can I maintain all the tasks? At that time, I have to schedule all the tasks with respect to the management knowledge areas. It's nothing but the time management or cost management. Basically, if my project is time duration based, or the duration based projects, or the constraint is called duration, at the same time I can go with the time management knowledge areas, where I can schedule my whole the task with respect to the project's time duration. How much total time duration of the project? With respect to that, I have to create a relationship between the task, and I will schedule all the tasks in a project. So basically, a task will be different times. So if we come into task, is a fixed time duration. One task is there. For that task, I am defined the duration is 10 days. Okay, the 10 days duration. Some task is a unit-based project. Unit-based task is nothing but if one resources is allocated to the task, that resources only complete the task because the importance of the resources is more in the projects. It's related with the fixed unit. Then it comes to work related. As we know that the work equal to duration to unit, every project work is always defined by the multiplication of the unit, how much unit is working in the project and how much duration it's taking. So the both multiplication is now my output is called work for the project. So this all thing I can analyze by scheduling the task. Then I come into analysis of the resources. If I define a resources in a project, after the I define the resources, so which type of resources, the resources related with the human resources or the machine related resources, I have to know that. If in my project there is a 50,000 resources, if 50,000 resources I can't manage by using human resources. So I have to maintain some tools, or I have to go with Excel or MSPS or Oracle Primer. It's different type of project planning management tool or enterprise project planning management tool, so that I can analyze the resources very efficiently, because all the resources with respect to their time duration, how much work they have allocated for the task, how they can efficiently work for the task, this all thing is not defined with respect to the time duration. So it will be very according to the project requirement. So I have to schedule a time duration for every individual resources, and I have allocated the resources for that time duration so that they can work for the task and the work allocation will be calculated in the projects. So this is the resources related things what I can analyze more efficiently on project management concept. Then I come into reporting. The reporting is nothing but what my project progress, how my project is going on, how to maintain the project with respect to the client requirements. This all thing is nothing but related to the reporting. And finally, it's called deliver the project on the time, on the budget. It's very efficient for the project, because if I want a quality product for the customer, then I have to deliver the project within the time duration, within the budget. So this is the whole of our things related to the projects, where we can input our project management concept, we can analyze the project very efficiently.